Hi y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elle, the ultimate fangirl, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's easy to get when you know how. And that is the LiviesHQ DM. So, if you're here, you probably know what a LiviesHQ DM is, but in case you don't, I'll give you a description and I'll put timestamps in the description if you want to just skip this part. So LiviesHQ, for those of you who don't know, is Olivia Rodrigo's official fan account, essentially. It's her management team, or just like part of her team, and what they do is they post about her pretty consistently. They organize the events, all that, and they'll respond to posts by fans, they'll retweet them, all that. So they'll post like videos of her on like Instagram and TikTok, but the platform that they're the most active on, that if you want a DM, you need to be active on Twitter. They're most active on Twitter. And they also have a Discord server, and next week I'll have a video about like the Discord server and some of the drama that's been happening there, because there's been drama with the mods and all that, but that's for next week, so if you want that, subscribe. But the place where they DM fans, aside from like a fan who won a competition in the Discord, is always Twitter. And so they're really active on Twitter, they notice people, and then they send out DMs. And so what are these DMs? These DMs are LiviesHQ either wants to send you a package, which sometimes is just a vinyl and a Stanley. Sometimes it's like a personally signed vinyl, and sometimes, like mine, it is a huge love sack. Put a picture here. It's in my room right now. Look at this thing. It's so big. Like, look at it. So it really just depends what they want to send you. And so they do these DM drops in batches. So sometimes they'll do it once a month, and sometimes, like recently for the Guts World Tour movie, they had a ton of different DMs. So for the Guts World Tour movie, they had like I think 3 or 4 drops. And so you could get a merch thing, or you could get, and this is really hard to get, don't bank on it, but you could get invited to an event with Olivia there, so a premiere event or Guts Gallery, something like that. But that's really difficult to get because everyone wants it, because Olivia's there and there's only X amount of tickets, whereas they can just print more vinyls. So LiviesHQ DMs for most people is just like free merch, and sometimes the merch is like exclusive, so I don't know that they're going to be selling the love sack that I got, in all honesty. It seems like they're going to do a few more giveaways, and that's going to be it, because it's just a regular love sack with like an Olivia cover. And so I actually think that it might like be exclusive. Same thing with like the personally signed vinyls, all that. They did that during the Sour era though. I don't know that they're gonna keep doing that. But so that's just sort of the rundown of what LiviesHQ DM is and why you would want it. So sometimes it's a bunch of really expensive stuff, like her link buds or a $600 beanbag chair. So those are just like some of the recent packages that they've been sending out. So that's why you would want one. Okay, so now is why you clicked on the video. Now I'm gonna be going over how I got mine and just the tips I have on how you can get yours. So how I got mine is gonna tie into my tips a little bit, but so I had been trying to get one since 2021. I had my first fan account ever in 2021, and I was desperately trying to get a DM. I was really discouraged because at this point they were sending like multiple DMs to the same fans, and I was like, you're never gonna get one. But I kept trying, and at one point I had like a podcast about Olivia Rodrigo, and I would post on it weekly. But when I realized that LiviesHQ did not care outside of Twitter, and when I realized that it wouldn't really do anything, I sort of stopped, especially because I didn't have the time. I was in a school production, all that, so I just didn't have the time. And so that's sort of where I started with trying to get a DM. I was active enough on Twitter, My one thing was that I didn't have their notifications on because my school was really strict at the time about phones. I was just like, I can't have my notifications on. So I actually did not have their notifications on, so I would respond to them later. And that's sort of one of the places I got screwed. You have to reply like as soon as possible. So I keep posting on that account, and then I take a break from like the music side of Stan Twitter, and I actually make like a Stranger Things fan account. And so for a little while I was on that. I got a lot of notices from Stranger Things, and like I went to a few of the events. So I actually learned a lot about Stan Twitter in that time. A lot of it's just being online at the right time and responding to them fast, because they're not going to respond to a reply made 2 hours later. Make content consistently relating to whatever you want it to be. So in this case, Olivia Rodrigo. A lot of people will make threads of like Olivia Rodrigo in all these colors, or Olivia Rodrigo's Disney princesses. And even if they don't notice all of them, because they do take a lot of effort, keep making them. It will help. And so in August, I think of 2022, I start my new Twitter account, which is my current one. If you want to go follow, I'll put it on the screen. And I gained followers pretty fast in the beginning. In all honesty, I got 100 followers in a day, which isn't bad. So obviously it's just like post, and just hope for the best. And so for the first few months, I did not get noticed by LiviesHQ, even though I was being active at the time, because I was more of a Taylor Swift fan account, which I still am. I decided recently that I really wanted the DM, but I didn't get noticed for the first few months, and then my notices were few and far between. They weren't common, but I was getting noticed some just by being like, what you have to do if you want to get a LiviesHQ notice is just do the most boring, generic responses, in all honesty, if you want to notice under their post. For example, for me, they would be like, Olivia in wherever, and I'd be like, Olivia world domination, she's taking over the world, and they'd repost it, or they'd like it, or they'd reply. And so you can't do like specific stuff if you just want to notice. That's one of the things I've learned, because they want the more generic stuff. Like if someone's saying she's such a star, as opposed to I love Olivia so much and her hair is really nice. And I've seen some of these posts and I'm like, girl, what? Like people will be asking for her hair routine under a post about her tour. So it just has to always be generic, and sometimes you'll want it to be related to the content. So that's what you want to do if you want to just get noticed. That is not what you want to do if you want to get a DM. Well, you do want to do it because getting notices will help you get a DM. So LiviesHQ has their favorites, and I'll be talking more about that in my video next week about like the drama with LiviesHQ. But so they have their favorites, and these favorites have gotten multiple DMs. And so I think they have like a list of just like people to DM. But so it's really difficult to become one of their favorites. And again, I wouldn't bank on it. I think a lot of the time it's like one and done. Like you get a DM, they send you something, and if you don't get another DM within a few months, you're not gonna get another one. And so that's just sort of how that works, in all honesty. And so you just hope for the best when you get a DM. Like you hope that's a good one. Well, I guess any free merch is good, but like you hope for like something more exclusive or something like that you couldn't afford. Like I got a $600 beanbag chair, y'all. So just hope for the best with that, in all honesty. To get an actual DM, what I've been finding really helpful is to do the less generic responses fast. So what I'll do is when they come online, they'll post once or twice, right? And underneath those posts, and if they're reposting a fan post, please do not do this underneath the fan post, because a lot of the time that's just not fair to them. Like LiviesHQ isn't actively looking at the replies for that post, so it's not going to do anything for you, and it's not fair to the fan who actually put effort into it. But what I was doing was whenever LiviesHQ would post, I would be like, hi, I'm Elle. I've been a fan since like 2019. Here's my proof. here's my High School Musical, the series book from like 2020, and I would post pictures of me at Sour Tour and Guts Tour. I went to Sour Tour, I was front row then, second row for Guts Tour, met Iris, her best friend, met Haley, her drummer. So I was trying to get an invite to the Guts World Tour premiere. I don't entirely know why I was trying to do that, because I did have 2 concerts that week. I had a concert on October 26th and October 30th, and the premiere was the 25th, but I didn't know that at the time. So I'd be like, if you have any invites for a certain event, let me know. I can travel. I'll be there. Which honestly, I probably couldn't have traveled for it because we did have the concerts, but like if it was on the Thursday as opposed to the Friday, maybe, you know. So that's what I was posting. So I like to say you need to have a biography. And what you do with the biography is you write it out, and you favorite the images that you want to put below it. Generally, you can do 4, so just favorite 4 images relating to you and Olivia. Generally, you want to have you in them because it just like shows like you didn't find this on Pinterest. So that's, you want to have that. You want to have it copied whenever LiviesHQ posts, because they're going to post multiple times. And so even if your biography has nothing to do with it, they'll be announcing like trivia game on a Discord server. That's one of their more recent posts, but just keep doing it. You keep spamming them. 1 or 2 comments for each post that they make, but just keep replying with your biography and the images, and when they're going through the replies, they're gonna see it if you do it on every post. And I do recommend having their notifications on Twitter. And also, if you want a DM, you have to be on Twitter. Like, you have to. You're not gonna get a DM on TikTok, you're not gonna get a DM on Instagram. You have to be on Twitter. And that's the sad truth of it. You have to be on Twitter, even though Elon sort of ruined it. That's how you're gonna get a DM. You reply under every post, and you also do like more generic replies as well, just like so that they're looking at your account. And a lot of the time it does take perseverance to like get a DM. Mine took 3 years. You really just want to persevere with that. And also, when they're online more, take advantage of that. Be posting about her and just like be active in the Olivia Rodrigo community. I thought the timing of my DM was really weird because I was like having my PSAT that week, so I wasn't actually being that active. Like, I would reply to their posts, but I wasn't actively posting on my Twitter. So I was really surprised that I got a DM that week. Actually, fun fact, the day that I got my DM, I got out of my pre-SAT, went on my phone, went on Twitter, saw that people were getting DMs, got sad because, again, I missed a DM drop, you know. I've missed so many. And then I noticed normally I'll have like 2 or 3 DM notifications, and this time I had like 4, and I was like, oh, it's probably just someone trying to DM me about like I followed someone I shouldn't be following or whatever. And then I see a DM from LiviesHQ. What? So I'll put the DM on the screen, but it honestly looks like a scam when you get it. A lot of the time they're asking for your full name, phone number, email address, actual address, all that. But you want to verify that it's actually them. Because I think in 2022, someone like played dress up on Twitter and like tried to look like them and would DM fans, and I almost sent my address. So you always want to check that it's actually them. I don't see that many people doing that now, but just check that it's actually them. You have to check. And so you click on their profile, and then if they have like the verification and 170,000 followers, so what I think they're currently at, that's LiviesHQ, and then you're safe to send in your information. And sometimes it'll take 1 or 2 weeks to get your package. In my case, I got mine the next day. So I got an email from Lovesac, actually, and I had no clue what Lovesac was at the time. If you don't know what it is, it's like a furniture brand with like beanbag chairs, but they're all really expensive. Like, you get a beanbag chair for $60 on Amazon. But So I got an email from LiviesHQ, and other people who got my DM were saying, oh yeah, I got an email too. They got the fast shipping, so they got the cover the next day, and then the day after that we got the like inside of the LiviesHQ, so we could actually fill it up and sit on it. But that's sort of what I got. But sometimes it'll take 1 or 2 weeks. One thing that you want to make sure of when you respond to them is make sure all of your information is accurate, because I've seen a few people who wrote like a wrong digit on their address, and they comment under LiviesHQ posts trying to get them to look at DMs, and they DM them multiple times like, I messed up, please help, please change it, and they never get their package ever. And LiviesHQ just, once they get your response and they're gonna like it, and then they're never gonna look at DMs with you again. So you want to make sure all your information is correct when you're putting in your DM. And I've also seen some people who like got DMs in like 2022 who just like their package never got delivered, and they've been hoping to get another one for like years and never have. So be sure that you put your right address in. If you're really worried about, tell your neighbors like, hi, should be getting a package. If you get a package for me, don't open it, it's mine. But just generally put the correct information in, double check it, triple check it before you send. One other thing that I've noticed before most batches of DMs, especially like the ones when they're less common, is they'll have a post like reply with X emoji if you're excited for whatever, right? Sometimes they'll do a DM drop the next day and it'll be 30 people who respond to that, and all of the people that they DM have responded to that. That's one way that you can get a DM, is just respond to those posts ASAP and just keep doing your bio tweets and keep being active on Twitter. I don't even have a TikTok. I never post on my Instagram. Like, I just use Twitter, and I somehow got a DM. And just don't get discouraged by other people getting DMs, because it takes time. Oh, and also one more thing, this one's important. You need to have a fan account. If you're responding on your personal account, it's not gonna work. If you're responding on a fan account with pictures of Olivia on it, and your bio on Twitter is like, Livy, Swifty, saw Sour Tour whenever, saw Eras Tour, whatever, like that signifies that you're like an actual fan, not like a reseller trying to resell it. So I'm not seeing any resellers actually trying to do that, but I recommend having like an actual fan account. Also, because when you're responding to them, you're gonna seem insane, and I honestly do not want my friends seeing that. Like, it's really something for sure. But just keep going. So that's my little guide on how to get a DM by LiviesHQ. So if you forgot, I'm just gonna make a list here. Step 1, have an actual fan account on Twitter. Step 2, respond to all of their posts with a biography of you as a Livy. Not your like personal biography, you as a Livy. Step 3, if they make a post asking for you to reply with an emoji or a hashtag, respond ASAP. And step 4, don't lose hope. I believe that they have like a list of people that they want to DM in the future who they just like are waiting to do a DM drop. Oh, bonus step, if you're really committed to this, make friends on Twitter. Make Livy friends on Twitter. Because if you do your networking with people who have a LiviesHQ follow, or LiviesHQ just really likes their account, then if they tweet at LiviesHQ, whoever deserves a DM, you should DM them. That can sometimes honestly get you a DM. So I remember one time they were asking for like shoe size, and nobody knew why they were asking for shoe size, but they were asking for shoe size. And so someone on Twitter was like, oh, I love Doc Martens, blah, 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 who had a bunch of Twitter friends, and normally they send the DMs all at once, like within 15 minutes. But this time, because everyone was like tweeting at LiviesHQ, like, this person deserves it, blah, 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 LiviesHQ actually DMs them hours later with the same DM. So network. That's my last tip, is to network with Livies on Twitter. But that's your guide to get a DM from LiviesHQ. I hope this helps. I hope you get a DM soon, because it's the best experience. I was like shaking, crying in my school bathroom, like hyperventilating. So it's a great experience. I hope you get a DM soon. And if you want more of this content, if you want the drama with LiviesHQ next week, if you want just delusional, insane fangirl content, concert reviews, all that, subscribe. And that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you have an incredible day. Hope you get a DM soon. Bye.